What's up guys, welcome back from the YgoPro duel video, the new Demise cards. Quite okay, but not really, you know, the best support. Not really an archetype, right, but you know what I mean. It's fine, I guess. A lot of similarities between the good old school Demise OTK from all the way back in 2006 or something like that. 2006, 2007. Basically, again, go for your Demise first, or your Ruin first, both your level 10 or the regular Demise, and pretty much blow up your entire field, and then follow it up with like an OTK. The big difference between, you know, like 10 years ago and now is that you, at this moment in, you know, linked format, you don't have to, you're not forced to, or to run like other engines to ensure that you can go for the OTK. Remember, like 10 years ago, you had to run something like Advanced Ritual Art and something like Doomdozer to get big beaters on the field and potentially equip Megamorph on your Demise, for example, or your Doomdozer to, well, eventually try to deal the necessary damage and to go for a game. With this new support, that's not really needed. You have your built-in distraction effects and like burn effect, burn damage, for example, with your Supreme King, for example. The Demise level 10 one has like a small burn damage equal to Chaos Emperor, for example, although it's 200 damage, I believe, for each card sent or destroyed, I believe, and that can be quite important. Your Ruin, for example, level 10 one has like, at least can attack twice during the battle phase on one condition, is that if you get her on the field with 2 ritual monsters, then she'll get that effect. Otherwise, you'll get, you know, she can just attack once. Both Demise and Ruin also have extra effects on the field. Demise prevents ritual monsters from being destroyed by battle, while the level 10 Ruin prevents destruction, and it can be quite important against something like Raigeki, for example. The two level 4 and the level 6 one, like the Devi ritual monsters, are actually quite good. Their biggest restriction is that when they are face up on the field, you cannot special summon from your extra deck. But again, that's not too important. You can just special summon themselves by either revealing a ritual monster or spell, depending on which you have, right? Special summon the other copy from the deck, and then search either a ritual spell or a ritual monster from your deck. Again, quite good, immediately giving you like tribute fodder for your ritual engine. Exodius is a tech card, since rank 10 is definitely an option here in this deck. Gustav Max return after a couple of years with Shadows, right? With trains, etc. The field spell is okay, but it's not like their biggest engine. Field spell in a Demise deck is quite strange, but I guess it's fine, right? Well, yeah, let's see a couple of example duels. Okay, first example, I think the opponent gets to start, yeah, going first with Demise, as, you know, with the good old school Demise from 2007, the deck can't really go first. It's really awkward if you're playing any OTK deck. This is not an FTK, but, you know, you're playing like an OTK deck and you have to go first. That's very strange. You can't really, like, establish a lock or a big board for your opponent to overcome, right? Something like Pendulum Magicians can do that. They can like go second and establish a big board to potentially attack for a game, or, you know, establish a big board with a lot of negators if they are going first. If they are going first, right? Special summon level 4 and level 6. One of them will trigger depending on which one you activated. That one will, at least cannot activate a search effect. The other one will be special summoned from the deck, and that monster can eventually search. Good old Demise and Ruin on the field again. Ruin prevents destruction by card effects, Demise destruction by battle. The extra burn damage of the big Demise causes this to, you know, eventually attack for a game, thanks to Gustav Max also. And this is what I was talking about during the old school days of Demise. You had to run other engines to, well, get extra monsters on the board, like Doomdozer, for example, to get the extra attack power and deal the necessary damage to attack for a game, or burn damage, right? Well, now that's not really needed again. You have the extra deck to go for like a rank 10 Exceed play, for example, Gustav Max, to deal some extra burn damage, and, you know, as you saw, that can potentially be a game. Preparation of right, Pot of Desires is, well, not really sure about the main deck Pot of Desires. I believe in this particular duel, you know, I banished like both Bentens, I believe, but it's something Anyway, him having the Vortex is quite important, right? But again, the small level 4 Demise, when it's like sent to the graveyard for like, for example, a ritual summon, you can target any ritual monster, and that particular ritual monster, at least your opponent cannot respond with card effects if you activate that particular ritual monster. So let's say Adai's Vortex cannot negate, cannot respond to like a Demise nuke if that Demise was targeted by the smaller level 4 Demise. In this particular case scenario, I'm going first again, quite of an awkward situation. I do like the Exodius in the main deck. Again, it boosts up those rank 10 Exceed plays, can potentially replenish your engine, but again, not really sure if you want to, like, again, going first, that you want to establish like an Exceed. Like, for example, your Dora, that's all fine. A big defensive beat stick can protect against something like Raigeki or card effects, right? But 4K, there are, you know, a lot of decks that can just attack over it. Another example is that, you know, just don't go for the Exceed, leave your Demise on the field or your Ruin, right? Prevent them from being either destroyed by battle or by card effects. That's again up to you, which one you know, searched out earlier. Here in this particular scenario, not really sure how he is going to overcome the 4K Demise. Pro Reload is definitely an option, not an option. Maybe Scaldeed giving the extra attack boost, and then Poison Magician, Poison Violet to give the extra attack boost if like a big spellcaster attacks. And yeah, as mentioned before, he's not able to attack over the 4K wall, so I'm still in the duel. Ripping the, well yeah, eventually get a Surge, try to use Demise to blow up the entire field, although I have to keep in mind of the Poison Magician to potentially destroy my regular Demise, right? Dora protects herself from card effects, again, that could be good if you're trying to push for game. She will be, or she will stay on the field even though if you activated Demise. Try to use pre-prep, not really sure why I can't take back a ritual. Well, in the end it's not going to matter too much. The Astrograph Soul prevented, well, it doesn't really matter, right? Eventually you'll go for Ignister and bounce back to Dora and attack for a game. So quite unfortunate. I believe at this point I was still running triple Benton in the main deck. I believe 2 is fine with the levels, and that's one of the biggest problems I've had during playtesting is I believe the old school Demise ritual spell needs appropriate equal levels if you want to ritual summon, and on the other hand, the new Demise ritual spell doesn't have that restriction, but it does have the restriction that the monsters need to be on the field. Again, that's quite hard with something like Ben 10, level 6, so that's something to keep in mind, right? Anyway, use the Demise, Preparation of Rites at 3 is definitely some nice support we got back for us TCG players. I have to play around, I believe, Farfa here in this situation. Well, eventually he will be able to sort out Farfa with the Craft attached, so eventually try to build up and go for a rank 4 Exceed play, Dweller mainly, prevent my opponent from eventually using Graf and going for Farfa, and, you know, banish one of my monsters so I would not have been able to deal the necessary damage, and eventually going for Gustav next again, super important to deal the last burn damage. I believe the last example, a couple of examples left I think. Again, going first, awkward situation, I believe, because I knew I was playing against Burning Abyss, going for both Demise and Ruin on the field was an okay play. Not the best if you're playing against a super top tier deck, but again, ritual monsters can't be destroyed by battle and can't be destroyed by card effect, so his Raigeki is useless. We know, you know, one of the 3 back row is definitely one of the Fog Blades, so again I have to play around that one as well. The field spell lets me do that, I think, so activate a Ritual Sanctuary, discard a ritual spell, that's good, you know, like discarding the new Demise field spell thanks to Ritual Sanctuary to get its graveyard effect is quite good. Use a small level 4 Demise, I believe targeting my level 8 Demise, and that's, you know, he's forced now to already burn the Fog Blade on that particular Demise, since again he can't chain with Fog Blade if I use the level 8 Demise effect, and blow up the entire field with the new Demise, the level 10 one, get some burn damage, and Gustav Max eventually will seal the deal. So again, this is currently my list, like always. Feel free to leave suggestions. Not really sure about hidden armory is something I'm thinking about adding multiple hidden armories and Megamorph, of course, giving the at least you're not using your normal summon that much thanks to the new level 4 and level 6 Devi monsters. So using hidden armory, search out something like Megamorph is quite gimmicky. Potentially Sonic Bird, the Manju, Senju, normal summon monsters can definitely be in the main deck, right? Other than that, no hand traps, only one infinite transience, dropped those from the main deck, only one copy, but that's something again I maybe want to put in the main deck, multiple negators like for example hand traps or infinite transience as well. The Jin releaser, the level 4 I believe is also something you definitely could main deck, you know, giving you more follow-up plays during the later turns by, you know, banishing it from the graveyard for the ritual summon. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching and feel free to leave a card or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.